I didn't learn to laugh at myself, I'd be dead right now.
Yo, what is up guys, Bobby Sim King here, back again with another video, and in this video we will be ranking every single pre-merge within Total Drama, which honestly was a very difficult ranking to make, and I also plan to make one for the post-merge as well, which was also difficult to make at the time of recording this. Again, I feel like most pre-merges of Total Drama have been pretty solid, and even though there are ones better than the other, I feel like there isn't really a big gap here. But at number 8, we do have the worst season of Total Drama, and that is Total Drama Allstars. While this is the worst pre-merge by far, I actually don't think it's void of humor or entertainment. I actually do go back and rewatch Evil Dread a lot, mainly just because of Lightning. Again, Lightning is an incredible comic relief character, and I absolutely love him. Same thing with episode 3, I think Joe also carries that episode. And again, Lightning and Joe are kind of the only good characters this season, so at least they're there for the pre-merge. The main issue is obviously the rest of the episodes are pretty bad in my opinion. We have Heroes vs. Villains, which isn't a completely bad episode, but it completely botches Lindsay, so they're sad. Food Fight also isn't that bad, but then we lose a character like Sam, which, why was Sam even there to begin with? Again, I used to be a Sam defender about his placement in All-Stars, but it's like, again, I feel like he just sticks out like a sore thumb here. We have Moon Knight Madness, which obviously kills the relationship between Duncan and Gwen. We have episodes 6 and 7, which are pretty unnoteworthy, but again, Heather losing her totem, Sierra going out. And again, why is Sierra here as well? Sierra was just not that great of a character in World Tour for me. And overall, this pre-merge is just very lacking, and it takes itself way too seriously, especially with the Mal/Mike storyline. A storyline that is just not that interesting to me anymore, so it's here at number 8. Coming at number 7, we have a pre-merge that I've been really hard on this channel, and it's not going to stop here. It's Total Drama World Tour. Obviously, my main issue with this pre-merge is the fact that, again, a lot of the great action characters I want to see go further completely just flame out this season. Again, Harold, Lindsay, Lashana, DJ. Even though DJ does stay the longest, it's like his plotline completely sucked in my opinion. So we also get Bridget cheating on Jeff for some reason, which I really hated. So just in general, Team Victory just felt like fodder on the season when I feel like they shouldn't have been. It doesn't help also that I feel like the first 12 episodes of the season are completely unnoteworthy outside of just building up Alejandra as this big bad villain. And once we do get to episode 13 where the love triangle stuff finally happens, it's like, it's just fine. Again, I find the love triangle plotline now to just be kind of stupid, but again, it's not that offensively bad. To be honest, the only pros that this pre-merge really has is the entertainment. I feel like the comedy of the season is really good in my opinion. Again, we have characters like Noah, Tyler, Heather, and Alejandro. And that's pretty much it. Really deliver some really comedic lines here. And despite the fact that I do not like Cody and Sierra, I do feel like Team Amazon is a really strong team, at least when it comes to entertainment. Again, all the girls were bickering at each other, and I feel like if I were to redo my team's ranking, they would be a lot higher on the list, but again, I just have a lot of issues with this pre-merge, and unlike the other pre-merges that we will talk about, I don't have that much issues with them, so World Tour just falls here at number 7. At number 6, we have a season that I've only said that the pre-merge is the only good part about this season, but it is also a really short pre-merge with only having 5 episodes, and that's Reboot Season 2. One thing that I do like about this pre-merge is how different characters interact. Again, we have Priya and Caleb, Ripper and Axel, we have the cheating trio between Julia, MK, and Bowie, and also just Julia and MK in general interacting was great. You have a lot of the pre-merge characters just really flaming out, but also flaming out in glorious fashion. We have Emma setting up Chase's elimination. We have Millie saying to Damien, yeah, I pushed you across the finish line, where Damien just looks very much pissed off, and I just find that scene to be really funny. Again, Millie going out was pretty great. I loved Millie this season, even though I didn't like her in season 1. We have Emma flaming out in episode 4, which I found to be really fun, of her just pretty much messing up the challenge for everyone, so yeah. I would have loved to see Emma make it a lot further, especially to see her dynamic with Bowie get explored, just, I don't know, maybe for Emma to get her karma back in him, but again, we'll talk about that in the post-merge. We have Nichelle, someone who was really dominant in a lot of the challenges, and I would have loved to see her perform at the merge. Again, her and Julia's rivalry seemed to be building up. Her friendship with Damien was pretty strong, and overall, I just really liked Nichelle as a character. We get more cute moments between Bowie and Raj, we get Damien being a pretty fun character. Overall, every single person except for one character was very much relevant throughout the season, so yeah, the pre-merge here lands at number 6. Coming at number 5, we have a personal favorite season of mine, and that is Total Drama Pahkitew Island. Again, as a kid, I just absolutely loved how insane this cast was, and I think this cast is definitely the reason why I'm just a big fan of just messy TV in general. We have the Leonard storyline, pretty much of him messing up every single challenge, and they end up voting off Beardo, which, again, I understand why they do it. Again, Beardo is just making sound effects, but again, I love Beardo as a character, and no, he did not die. Just have really insane characters leave the pre-merge. Again, we have Leonard, someone who I think is just really ridiculous. Ella is someone who I love that they all bullied. Sammy, someone that I hated that they all bullied, but it is really funny. Again, I think Sammy, Amy, and Jasmine, that storyline was very strong of the show. Again, I think Topher is a great character here. I think that Sky and Dave's relationship build up all the way up to episode 9, which we will talk about, of the post-merge, but again, I think that their build-up here was pretty solid. Not really solid in the sense that they were in a solid relationship, just solid in the fact that it was very much clear that they're going to crash out at each other. And then we have the other main couple between Sean and Jasmine, which I obviously do really love. And then we have Sean hitting Jasmine with a stick, winning the challenge, which I'm still confused about why Jasmine was upset with Sean here. Again, obviously he could have been a little softer with it, but it's like, you guys are still competing and it feels like you wanted him to stay in the game, so it's like, I don't know. And while we will talk about this more so in the post-merge video, I just love how this season just feels like a very much insanely messy season, because I feel like the post-merge is just like challenge after challenge after challenge, but here's where the characters really do get to shine, so it's here at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we do have a season that really doesn't have a bad episode until the final episode, and that is Total Drama Revenge of the Island. I feel like this season would be higher if it weren't for the Dakotazoid plotline. Again, I just really hate the fact that she turns into a mutant. Again, while it's cute that Sam appreciates her like this, it's like, I don't. Again, I really love Dakota, and I think she might be one of my all-time favorite one-time characters, and to see her just completely turn into a mutant really sucks, especially when the fact that she was being developed pretty well in my opinion. But anyways, her and Sam make a pretty cute couple, same thing with Mike and Zoe, which I honestly find them to be really cute this season. I also find Mike to just be a pretty strong character here. Again, he's one of my all-time favorite characters in Revenge of the Island, at least in this season, to where, again, I really like Mike here. I also like Mike's friendship with Cameron because, again, I feel like it was a very natural friendship, and I like how Mike, Zoe, and Cameron become like a trio. I love Joe's rivalries on the season. Again, I love her rivalry with Anne Maria. I love her rivalry with Brick. Again, I feel like they very much work well off each other. It sucks that they do go out at the same time, but it's whatever. We also do have Scott, who is an incredible villain. Again, the way he eliminates Bee and Dawn are very much iconic moments of the show, and Scott in general, this pre-merge was really funny. And also really crafty as we see him make a fake totem, we see him stealing from the other campers. Just in general, Scott felt like a breath of fresh air in the pre-merge. We also just have pretty likable characters in Dawn and Lightning. And like I said in the beginning, I think the first 7 episodes are really strong episodes of the show, but unfortunately episode 8 is just pretty bad, so it's here at number 4. Coming at number 3, we have the Reboot Season 1. And I just love this pre-merge. Again, episode 1, we have Emma just crashing out on Chase, we have Caleb going home in the hands of Bowie. Episode 2, we have Ripper and Axel fighting over who should be team captain, and I found that dynamic to be pretty fun. We also get the introduction to Z and his leg. Episode 3, we also have Nichelle and her downfall, which I found to be very entertaining, and I know a lot of people hate Nichelle, so you guys probably found that entertaining too. Yeah, I'm still salty about her elimination in Season 2. Episode 4 is really incredible, again, seeing all these different characters interact with each other, and we also have Ripper using Priya as a shield, which I found to be very entertaining, and also just Ripper farting while getting a marshmallow. That episode was really entertaining as well. We have episode 5, which, ignore the challenge, again, we have Julia completely roasting that T-Rex, and then episode 6 is absolutely incredible. I just really love the build-up between MK and Julia's rivalry here, and it really comes to an end in episode 6. Number 2, this pre-merge is, for me, is definitely very hand-in-hand. Again, I feel like this has some of the worst episodes in Total Drama history, but also some of the best Total Drama episodes, and that is Total Drama Action. One thing I do love about Action's pre-merge is the fact that every character does have something to do. It's just the issue of what the character actually does. Obviously, the first 7 episodes are devoted to the Gwent ending of their relationship, which I obviously hate. Again, I love Trent and Gwen together, and I also hate the derailment of Trent in general, as he was a pretty cool character. But once we get past episode 7 and we get to episode 8 all the way up to episode 15, I do feel like we get a lot of strong episodes in this batch. We finally get DJ quitting the game, which obviously I hate, as again, I love DJ as a character, but again, I feel like the Chef and DJ storyline pretty much ran its course. Like I said with Team Amazon, I feel like the team structure this season was also just really strong, and a lot stronger in my opinion, because both teams are incredible TV together. Again, we have Trent's team with characters like Justin and Lindsay being incredible together. Owen was pretty funny at points, but again, just sometimes insufferable with his constant need to take a shit. Episode 13 is really strong, mostly because Courtney comes back, and while I'm not a big Courtney fan in Action, I know that. Again, seeing her just completely crash out because of her team's incompetence is really funny to me. And also seeing her take out Owen was very much refreshing.
Thank fucking
And
God.
we have the other team with characters like Duncan, Heather, Lashana, Harold, all being great together. Again, I love their dynamic together. I really wish we would have had more episodes with them together. I would have loved to see if Heather had made the merge, just because I feel the post-merge would have been stronger in that sense. And just seeing them bicker like siblings was honestly very fun TV. Also, seeing Duncan and Courtney back together, but on opposing teams, was a very interesting concept. Not my favorite, but again, pretty interesting regardless. I cannot stress how funny this season is once we get past characters like Owen, Trent, and Gwen, characters that are really slowing the pacing down in my opinion. Combine that with the aftermath being pretty strong in my opinion, I just feel like when action is very much strong, it is one of the strongest seasons of all time, and it's here at number 2. Coming at number 1, to the shock of no one probably, it's Island. And really, the only thing stopping Island from being number 1 for me was the fact that a lot of the eliminations feel contrived. Like, again, Ezekiel just being possessed by being like, I have to say something sexist immediately, which... why? Also, another thing that confused me as a kid and still to this day now, it's like, why did they vote off Katie instead of Sadie? Like, are the Killer Bats just racist? Because again, if you want to win a challenge where it could involve running or something very physical, it's like, I would much rather have Katie than Sadie. But outside of those contrived eliminations, what puts the season number 1 is the characters, the episodes, and just the dynamics in general. Again, we have Heather, who is a very strong character in the pre-merge, Lashana, Gwen on the Screaming Gophers, all together were very fun together. We have Duncan and Courtney being enemies to lovers, which I really do enjoy, and seeing Harold pretty much eliminate Courtney just for payback at Duncan, when it's like, again, if you want the bullying to stop, why not just rig the votes against Duncan? But I feel like then Chris would probably say something because Duncan is his favorite. But really, I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. Island is just a great season in general, and while it might not be my number 1 ranking in the post-merge, I really do enjoy this pre-merge, and it's here at number 1. And that is the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video if you made it this far, and yeah, expect more videos coming out, so peace out. Love you guys. Yo, what is up guys, Bobby King here, back again with another video, and in this video we will be talking about every single total drama YouTuber that I mog. I can't think of any, sorry.